guys, welcome back to my channel. Tonight is night 27 of the hashtag Neopagan November, a month-long challenge that was started by Brittany, the Sunshine State Witch. I'm a little out of it. I feel like I have a little cold coming on. I'm doing everything in my power to fight it off, but I was actually really looking forward to this prompt the whole time. So the prompt is taboo. I'm definitely somebody who likes to push boundaries and like I talked about yesterday, I'm not somebody that really keeps a lot of secrets. I like to put things out there, and I'm not a gatekeeper of information. But this topic is a little taboo, so trigger warning if you are, sensitive to blood or specifically period blood. We're going to be talking about blood magic today. So, my first attempt with blood magic, specifically period blood, was back in February, March of 2020. And I think it's just like as you start to get older, you start to realize like your menstrual cycle is not going to be here forever. And you start to, at least I did, start to look at it like I really wanted to not let these last years of my, menses go to waste. As you age, you start to really recognize the power of womanhood and what it means to be a woman, and that includes your period. And so, anyway, those were some of the things that were kind of prompting me to work with this. And so, I'm not going to talk about specifically what workings I was doing because that's personal. But I was using period blood. There's a lot of different things you can use blood for in magics, but specifically period blood. Think about what it is. It is, well, first of all, it's a cleansing, right? You're shedding. It's a shedding of the uterine lining. It is it's like a full moon, right? So it's the closing out of one cycle and preparation for a new cycle. It's like the world in the tarot. It's like the tens in the tarot. It is a death and a rebirth. I mean, so powerful. So the craziest thing is like, there's a lot of ways you could collect your menses. You can get like one of those diva cups or like a silicone cup. Now, the interesting thing is I actually had a uterine ablation back in my early 30s or late 20s. I can't remember exactly. So I'm not even supposed to have a period anymore, but I still have had one ever since. It's much shorter in length or duration, and it's a lot lighter, but I still have one. So I also, once I started to learn about blood magic, I started to think, well, it's probably not a coincidence that I still have a period. So again, this was kind of prompting me to want to start working with this. So anyways, there's a lot of different ways you can collect your blood and whatever. Okay. Again, this is taboo. So whatever, it's how I did it. I'm sure there are different ways. I just took that chime candle and I just put it right there in my hoo-ha, just like you would a tampon, just for a moment. I didn't leave it there. I didn't walk around in it. I'm not trying to get toxic shock syndrome, but I just in and out quickly to collect the blood. I was using a black candle for this working, and then I put it on a plate, and I was, then going to dress it with the other herbs and things. So it's similar to like dressing a candle with, some type of like right here, I've got some fiery wall of protection oil, right? So instead of dressing like the candle with an oil, you would use your blood. So I was in the bathroom, I had the little chime candle, and I had a plate from my kitchen, a clean plate that I was placing the candle on so that I could finish dressing it. So I noticed that it actually dries pretty quick, just FYI. And so by the time I, washed my hands and put it down, and I think I must have gotten distracted with whatever, but by the time I came back to finish working with it, I picked up the candle and noticed, look at the freaking pattern that it left on the plate. So pause here. Tell me that that doesn't look like your fallopian tubes, like the woman's sex organs, right? And then we all, well, maybe not we all, but a lot of us know that that is also similar to what this looks like. which is the Baphomet. So I just thought that was like such a sign of the power that, this had. And again, I'm not going to go into the specifics about the workings that I was doing. Excuse me. But I can tell you it was very powerful. And now I kind of take it as if I start my period on a full moon or a new moon, that is a sign for me to be working with my menses on that particular moon cycle. Otherwise, I don't. And if you're wondering if this is something for you, you can always set that intention out there that that will be your sign, or you can ask the universe for some other sign to let you know if that is right for you. So yeah, these just blew me away, which is why I took pictures of them to begin with. But I just remember back when I was doing these workings, how like exciting it was, but how I remember just keeping it to myself because I was so worried about what other people were going to think or what other people were going to say because of the taboo nature of it, right? And so I also think that just in general on the topic of taboo, that is just like all of the shadows. It's all of the shadow. It's the shadow we're always trying to creep around or tiptoe around. Nobody wants to just talk about the hard subjects of life, sex, death, differing viewpoints or opinions. And so taboo is so, it's always going to be something no matter how awakened we become. But I think it's important for us to all look at the topics that we still think are taboo in even witchcraft, right? Where we tend to think that witches are very open-minded and very, welcoming and so on and so forth. But there are still a lot of topics that are taboo. And I could have picked many, many other topics, but I just thought this was a cool one that I remember holding back about posting in fear of what people would think. There are a lot of people or women that use their menses as like facial masks because there's a lot of stem cells in it. I haven't gone that route, but it doesn't bother me when I see people working with it. It's their menses, it's their blood. They can do whatever the heck they want with it, is the way that I look at it. But I'll show the pictures once again. I just thought it was the coolest experience, and that's all I've got for tonight because I'm gonna go hit the hay early because I'm very tired, and hopefully this isn't too taboo for anyone watching. And I look forward to seeing the other videos that you witches make. Have a good night.